Okay, this tutorial is going to be about the spatial analyst surface tools that you use to calculate raster data. So you can calculate slope, aspect, hillshade and contours. I'll only go through slope, and aspect and hillshade are basically exactly the same instructions. So I'll do contours in another video, but just follow the same instructions for aspect and hillshade as I'm doing now. So the first thing is to add the data. So we just go to our add data. You should have the knowledge of this from another video. So just add our Capri 25 meter. You may be using something different. You can ignore the coordinate system problem, it will fix it, so it will, you just press close and then it will work it out. So you can see we have this shallow bathymetry, and the white, the dark means the deeper bathymetry. You can change that by just clicking on the color ramp. You can invert it, change the color. So we'll change it to, one thing you can actually do is you can change it to elevation. So if you just click on it and then press E, it'll actually change it to the elevation color. So just done that there. So the next point is to actually find the tool. If you don't see the toolbox, make sure that you click on the toolbox here, this red thing, and then it will bring up all the tools that Arc has. So I'll just note that 3D analyst tools and spatial analyst tools overlap. Sometimes you'll get exactly the same tool in the two boxes. Doesn't matter which one you use, they are exactly the same. So if we look under 3D analyst tools, this is in the favorites tab, by the way. I'll go into the search tab in a minute. If we go under raster surface, so we've got 3D analyst tools, you just click that little add box to make it a minus, and then we click on the add box here, raster surface, and then you can see you've got aspect, contours, curvature, slope, hillshade. We'll just use slope. So we can go down to spatial analyst tools, and then we go to surface, and then you've got exactly the same tools: aspect, contour, curvature, hillshade, slope. Again, they are exactly the same no matter which one you click. You can also do a search, so we search by clicking on this tab here and then just typing in slope, and then you can see you've got slope 3D analyst tools and slope spatial analyst tools. So you can just double click there. We'll go back to the favorites and we'll just double click on the surface tools and the spatial analyst tools and then on slope. So that brings up this wizard here. One thing I always have open is the help, so show help. When you have nothing clicked, it gives you an overview of the tool. If you actually click in the box, it will give you a little overview of what you're meant to put in this box. For example, input the raster. The output raster will be created. So that's pretty simple. It won't give you much information because it's just saying put in the raster that you want to actually use to calculate slope, and where do you want the slope to be calculated, where do you want that raster to go. You can choose between degrees and percentage rise, so that will give you a little information about those two, and it will give you information about the Z factor, which I'm going to go into later because we're actually going to change that. You can also get more information if you click on tool help. This will require an internet connection. If you don't have that, you can just go up to help tools here, and if we go to search, you can search for slope like I've already done, and it will give you some information on calculation of slope. The first thing it will bring you is just the sort of the code behind it, so you don't need to worry about that. One thing that would be useful is understanding how slope works. They give you very detailed sort of instructions on how slope is calculated. I guess the main thing you need to understand is that it's rise over run, so distance over height change. So, sorry, height change over distance. But one thing you want to note is that because it's done on a surface rather than just that slope, it has to do it over a certain number of boxes or the cells as part of the raster. So it does it in this 3 by 3 grid. So you can look at all the calculations on how it's done.